So here's one activity that you can do to keep yourselves active at home. Before you try anything or start anything, make sure it's okay with your parents or whoever's watching you, and make sure that if you do use the jump rope, that you have adequate space all around you. I would not try it in the kitchen or the family room. A garage might work, or outside if it gets nice. First thing you want to do is find something to use. An old rope would work. If you're lucky enough to have a jump rope at home, you could use one of those. You want to make sure you have the right length of rope. You can do so, check it by standing on it, and if the handles come somewhere between under your arms or just above your shoulders, that's a pretty good length for you to use. What we're going to do is just go through some skills for you to use, and we're going to start out with two different ways to jump. The first one is called a double jump, and what you're doing is you're jumping twice every time the jump rope goes around. So as I go, it'd be 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's a double jump. Then you have a single jump. For a single jump, every time the jump rope goes around, you jump once, which means the rope will have to turn a little bit faster. So it'd be like this. Okay? If you have some difficulty jumping rope, just start with it behind you. Bring it over the top. Realize that your arms and legs are going to move at different times. Bring your arms over the top. Once you see the rope, then jump. Oops. So, rope comes over, jump, jump. We don't need to make really big arm swings. Just let your wrist do the work. If you still have difficulty with it, one thing you could do is you could just place the jump rope across two items, or a rope, or a stick, and you could just jump back and forth. Just what you're trying to do is you're trying to get your heart rate up, keep it up for 10, 15, 20 minutes, and that would be a good exercise for the day. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do a few tricks, and we'll get them a little more advanced as we go along. First one, fairly easy to do, is you're going to jump and then swing the rope to the side. So I jump, swing it side, side, bring it back around, jump, swing it side, side, bring it back around. Another one you can do is you can change the direction that you're jumping. For example, some people like to jump backwards, but if I want to switch and go forward, I have two ways to do that. First one, I can jump and just use my arm, wrap it around, and then when I bring it back, it's going to be going the opposite direction. The other way is I can actually turn while I jump. So if I jump, I'm going to turn, and then the rope goes backwards. Let's try that one again. So I'm going to go over, swing it to the side, bring it back to the front. Another trick you can do is to do what's called a bell. That means while you jump, you're just going to jump forward and backwards. So as I jump, I go forward, backwards, forward, backwards, forward. With that, I can also do what's called a skier. With the skier, I jump side to side. So I'm going to go this way, this way, this way, this way, and so on. As I said earlier, you could Place your jump rope across two objects. Here you can see I'm using a couple of chairs so that I can jump across and I can get some good activity, some good exercise that way. If you do this, I would lay it lightly. I would not tie it to anything just because something like this could happen. You might miss and catch the rope. And that won't be good. When you're jumping rope, one thing to realize is it's nice to get into a good rhythm. That means repetitively doing things to a certain beat. For example, one trick you can do is called a can-can, and you're kind of almost dancing while you jump rope. So it would look like this. Okay, and that kind of goes along with the bell, the skier. They're just rhythm things you can do when you jump. One of the tricks that I like to do is it's just a toe tap with the opposite foot when I'm jumping rope. If you've ever seen like boxers or wrestlers, this is kind of how they do it. Then if you go faster, I was doing a double jump there, so if I just do a single jump, let me try that one again. See, I gotta find my rhythm. So, anytime you jump, one thing I like to do is I like to keep track and count and see how many consecutive jumps, how many jumps in a row I can get, then try to beat my record. If you have brothers and sisters in the house, maybe you put a paper on the refrigerator where everybody lists how many consecutive jumps you got in a row. That way you can always challenge each other. Or you can have a contest to see who can jump the longest without missing. These are just some things that you can do on your own. All right, I have one final trick for you. This is called the rump jump. In about 20 years of doing this, I have had 2 elementary level students who actually taught themselves to do this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the jump rope, going to spin it around my head, lift my feet, jump, and to do that, I need to really use my core. I need to use those stomach muscles and pull myself up off the ground. So what it looks like is this. Okay, I would suggest doing it on a nice surface. I don't think I would attempt to do that on cement. That may hurt. So good luck.